And we are live. MMA Trollz podcast. This test just to go around so I can hear myself clearly. Just gonna talk about some MMA, a couple topics, get it going. All right. So as you all know, RDA pulled out of his fight against Conor McGregor at UFC 196. So the whole MMA world was ablaze. Everybody sitting by their phone, constantly checking for updates, um, looking for who the next opponent was going to be, and talking about who the best opponent would be. So it was a pretty interesting day. A lot of names got thrown out there. A lot of guys threw their names out there. A couple of guys we thought we hear from, both weren't ready or have injuries. Edgar and Aldo. A lot of people wanted Cowboy. Obviously, he's just coming off a fight. He fought at 170, so he didn't have to cut much weight, and it was a really quick win. So that was an obvious choice. But then you had Nate and his nice call out from last time he fought against Michael Johnson. And the promotion kind of already built there because I believe that was on Fox. I believe it was on Fox, Big Fox. So a lot of people saw that. So I mean, it's kind of should be easy to build from there, I would imagine. But my thing was I saw Cowboy mention he tried his hardest to get down in weight, so there was that. I'm sure he would take the fight, and he would probably take it for what he gets paid for, anyways. But I think they wanted the Nate fight because, like I said, the call out from before, there's already a little promotion ready. The same thing with Cowboy. They got a little promotion, at that one UFC press conference with all the champions and challengers. They got into it a little bit of stuff on Twitter and whatnot. But I think we're pretty satisfied with the Nate Diaz pick. And I'm even more satisfied that they're fighting at 170. They're not going to have to cut much weight. You're going to see these guys at a weight that they were actually comfortable with because they're not going to be drained, and it'll be good just to see what guys that weigh around this weight walking around, how they perform compared to when they're cutting a bunch of weight. We won't be able to see that from Diaz, unfortunately, because he definitely hasn't been putting in the work. He hasn't been getting the rounds in. He's probably just been working, teaching seminars, and staying kind of sharp. But I wouldn't imagine he's ready at all. But I like that he did use this opportunity to further his career and actually think. I know he got fucked on his last contract. I'm sure it was just a bad choice by his manager, a bad decision by his manager that led him to, get paid like, he was a second-year veteran or something. It's horrible. I mean, everybody knew that was horrible. He definitely deserved, good money. I saw that he was getting $500,000 for this fight and $500,000 to win. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I saw. The same guy that reported that RDA was injured on Facebook was the same guy that said this, so I'm kind of inclined to believe that. Also, I hear he's getting $250 to show just straight money for the next 4 fights after that. So now he's making money, I also saw somewhere that he might be getting pay-per-view points on this fight, which could be entirely true. Looks like the UFC won't make too much on this fight, but they're keeping it going, But anyways, it's a great fight, great matchup. It's just like I said, Nate's not coming in at his best. So I think he gave us a little tell during that press conference. Also, when he said he's going to go in there, it's going to be kill or be killed. Usually Nate, the way the guy fights, him and his brother, they fight more where the fight takes them. They do press and all that, but wherever the fight goes, they fight. So it's like they don't have a certain game plan to bring the fight in any certain direction. It's just, you know, the fight's here, it's fight here. Oh, I got your leg, and you're pressed up against against the cage. Let me beat on it for a while. Let me beat on you for a while. Oh, I got some distance. So let me throw my jab and straight. Let me work the combos, push you back. It's just where the fight goes, they're gonna go. They're not the typical wrestler type fighter where they want to keep the fight where they want, where they're stingy with the cage. You know, they're just gonna go where the fight goes. So I don't think he's gonna be able to do that just because he's not fight ready. You know, he's gonna have to go in for the kill. So what I'm thinking is you're gonna see Nate come out fast and try to establish the center of the cage and take that away from Connor, and try to put Connor on his back foot. You know, so I see him trying to be rangy, lengthy, but push forward and plotting, obviously, because I mean that's just the way he boxes and whatnot. But yeah, I see him trying to get Connor to the cage. That's gonna be really hard, but that's probably what he's gonna try to do. And if he tried to do that, I would imagine he'd get lit up if he pressured too hard and didn't stay behind his jab and defense. But I just don't see him be able to put Connor where he wants to, just because Connor's horizontal movement, his in and out game, and you know, he hits so solid that he kind of takes your game plan away as soon as you feel that power. So if you feel like you're gonna be able to pressure the guy, as soon as you feel one good crack, then you know it kind of puts a little doubt in your head, and that game plan is like, oh shit, I might not be able to do this. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I don't see Nate trying to drag it out 5 rounds or anything like that. I see him trying to go in there and just trying to get it done. And in that process, I think that's where he's gonna get knocked out. I want to give Nate a wrestling advantage over Connor, so I don't see him taking to the ground and getting top control, anything like that. Connor's a very confident guy. If he does drop Nate, and Nate still has faculties, I can see Connor jumping in his guard or trying to get side control, half guard, whatever, which obviously would be a mistake probably. But he's very confident and he's very competent on top. We saw him with Brandao on top. He looked a little, to be honest, in that fight, I will say at one point before, which actually screwed Brandao, but and at one point Brandao got him pretty off balanced from guard and kind of made Connor fall off to the left so Brandao could get back up. So I was like, that showed me a little bit of his top game. So we know his top game isn't great. Unless you're hurt, like, you know, when he rocks Dennis Siver or Brandao or anybody he rocks. I did like his guard pass on Siver. That was pretty slick to end the fight. Yeah, it was pretty violent. But anyways, I don't see him actually following Nate to the ground, because he's gonna know that's Nate's really on the path to victory, because he doesn't have the knockout power. And he's not going to be able to put the wear on Connor, just because the movement and, like I said, the counters that Connor is going to throw and the traps that Connor is going to set. It's just, you know, it's going to be a lot harder to pressure Connor than people think. But it's a good fight. I'd rather see these guys, you know, fight, you know, where they're both just ready to go. Nate's obviously not ready to go, but if they were to fight like that, I can see Nate actually not going for that type of game plan of the kill or be killed. Probably look to outbox and you know, try to work a ground game eventually. But I think he would stand with Connor the whole time, and yeah, I think he'd do pretty well. I don't think he would win, but I think he'd last a lot longer than guys expect. He might even take it all 5, to be honest. Nate's a great fighter. You know, if he doesn't have to chase you and you're willing to exchange with the guy, you know, it's gonna be a good fight, and he's gonna put damage on you. McGregor will exchange with him, but the difference between McGregor and all these other guys is he'll exchange with you right outside your range or angle off and then hit you again, as opposed to like when Josh Thompson was just pot shotting and running pretty much. But he was successful against Nate with that game plan. Nate fought a little bit over aggressive, obviously, and got caught with some shit, and that's where his downfall was. Like I said, and that can happen here too. So, yeah, Nate not at 100%. You know, he's still a dangerous guy, but he's not gonna be ready for Conor. I think Conor probably he's probably gonna sleep by the end of the second. Probably a TKO stoppage because no one really sleeps Nate. I should say he's probably just gonna TKO him. And yeah, that's pretty much all I could think of really. And there's the Holm and Tate fight. We can talk about that a little bit. Holm, actually, fuck that. I gotta do some calls. Hold on.